Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal, and in this episode, we are discussing our favorite trades from the trade deadline.
Best time of the year.
Caveat, we are recording this on Thursday, March 6th, so a few hours before the actual deadline. So if there's a last-minute splash that we don't know about,
Sorry,
we don't know.
Yeah.
But we're going to pick our favorites from what we have so far.
Yes.
Get us started, Viddy.
So recently, after the game with the Sharks, the Colorado Avalanche just acquired forwards Brock Nelson and William Dufour. And there was a ton of talk about, Brock Nelson's not actually going to get traded because Lou Lamoriello is Lou Lamoriello.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. But I didn't think it was going to happen. And of course they did. They got Lindgren, they got VC, they got Brock Nelson. They got rid of their two goalies that were holding them back in the last playoffs, I guess you could say. This is a scary Avs team, in my opinion. And this is what happened in 2022 when they were loading up before the playoffs. Literally, the only player they don't have is Gabe Landeskog.
And Rantanen.
But, you know, Marty Necas is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's worked out pretty damn well for them, especially with the whole saga. For all we know, the Rantanen thing is unfolding as... as we talk about it right now. But man, I'm going to have to give this the value one to Colorado Avalanche for acquiring Brock Nelson. I think this puts them over the edge
as contenders,
as not just playoff contenders, but like this is a cup contending team.
Yeah,
I think this is a team that's going to like do some serious damage. And if not, I think you got to like really look at yourself hard in the mirror and be like, what went wrong? Because you can't have this 2 years in a row, right? You can't blame Georgiev this time.
Yeah,
you just can't. So, this is my pick.
Depends on who are they playing in the first round. If the standings hold, they're the first wild card right now. So they'd be playing Vegas, I think.
Right, but Vegas, one, lost some depth, but two, it's Vegas. Anyone who puts on that sweater is just somehow good.
Yeah, so I'm saying they could still lose in the first round.
They could, but I think that would be like a hard-fought Game 7 type of deal. And especially when you got Brock... It's not like Brock Nelson hasn't played playoff games, right?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, the Islanders were regularly in the Eastern Finals, and then they ran into Tampa.
And he's just coming off a good Four Nations run too.
Yeah. This was, if I had to pick like a hot target, other than Rantanen again, it's probably going to be Brock Nelson. And the fact that, of course, the Avalanche got him after Necas, after again all the players I just listed. This has been an insane period for them trade wise, insane season for them trade wise.
You think all of the players they've acquired as an aggregate are better than Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah. Because Mikko Rantanen is asking for a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can't pay that long term. So what do you do when you lose a superstar player? You fill it up with depth.
Yeah.
And they've done exactly that. And not just we filled it up with depth. This is
serious depth.
Some serious depth. You don't just get a Marty Necas on trees. That doesn't just happen.
That's always been the weakness of Colorado. They've been the one-line team or the one D-man team with Cale Makar back there. But you can't call them that anymore.
Yeah, and it's just this is a very scary team. This is a very when you have Nathan MacKinnon, everything is fine. When you have Nathan Makar, everything's fine. Just those two are point machines, but these are guys you can just put into the system and it works so well. We've seen the instant success Marty Necas has had. And I would be shocked if Brock Nelson was not bringing in that or fitting into that lineup so well. Their system just works.
Underratedly, you've also seriously improved your second power play now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that power play in the 22 run to the Cup was just fucking lethal. They were killing teams with that. I think a lot of people were just forgetting that team went 16-4. 2 sweeps, I think. No Game 7s. That was not just a Cup win. It was a dominant Cup run in general. I don't think I've seen something like that in a while. So I think they're gearing up for that right now.
All right.
Yeah. What about you? What's your best trade of the deadline until Thursday, March 6th at 11 p.m.?
I'm cheating a little bit here.
Oh, yeah?
It's 2 trades, but one team. And I'm going to say it's the Florida Panthers acquiring both Vitek Vanacek and Kaapo Kähkönen.
Really?
As backup goaltenders.
Cool. Okay.
After shipping out Spencer Knight in the Seth Jones trade, they've now acquired 2 really solid backups, both former Sharks, coincidentally. But what is the weakness of the Florida team, right? It's the fact that Bobrovsky could fall off at any point.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen this from Bob. He's getting older too. And Spencer Knight was a solid backup, but they really wanted Seth Jones, so they let him go. But now with Vitek and with Kaapo Kähkönen, you have that stability that should Bob fall off, or should Bob need some rest down the stretch, you have very, very capable backups.
Right. And let's not forget or discredit what he did last year in the playoffs. Like, if Connor McDavid didn't Connor McDavid during that playoffs, I think that Conn Smythe would have gone to Bob, no?
I mean, it was either Bob or Tkachuk, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it could have gone to either Panthers player. And like, these things are long. Let's not forget also, it's not just the run against Edmonton. They played against Vegas. Sure, they didn't win, but like you still played all the way till mid-June.
Yeah.
2 seasons in a row. The guy might need some rest, right?
Yeah. And, having these solid backups, I think just settles everything down.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the playoff position that you want. And, I think it's a very underrated, very solid move for the Panthers.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, again, with the Seth Jones trade and, like adding these 2 extra goalies, like I think just overall they've tightened up their defense a little bit. That we talked about it maybe in the offseason videos or something, like when maybe Brandon Montour departed and there's a couple of depth players that have departed. Sure, your defense weakened up a little bit, but obviously not to the point where they fell out of a playoff spot. Still a killer team. But now it seems like that, I don't even want to call it a weak link, but that weak link is now fixed, right? More or less. So
the Panthers, the reigning Cup champs, have just gotten better.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's always scary.
That's the point. Yeah. That's the bottom line here. So yeah, I could definitely see that too. And again, they've picked up a couple others. They've picked up a lot of Sharks, actually.
They've been trading a lot with San Jose. They also got Nico Sturm.
Yeah.
So shoring up their depth and their goaltending.
Yeah. I mean, Panthers are making moves. I will completely agree with you. I don't think we're in disagreement this episode. Both killer moves by Florida and Colorado. What if that's the friggin' Cup final?
That's a potential final.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you had to pick 2 teams from each conference that are contenders, I would pick Florida from the East and maybe New York, ever since they've done their changes, have looked really good. Rangers, yeah. I don't really know. I would have said the Devils, but with the Jack Hughes injury, it's tough to say the Devils now.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Florida for sure, and then from the West, it's Colorado or it's Winnipeg, in my opinion.
You're way too early predictions. Yeah, got it. Yeah,
before Vegas destroys everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's. I'm still like kind of all in on Colorado just because they've had the experience. They know how to win. Crazy ass lineup now. Again, before Vegas destroys everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see Florida making some splashes. Who knows? Now that Boston's not in the playoffs, or probably not going to make the playoffs, what if Toronto does some damage? Who knows? Like, oh yeah. For you, we know how you feel about Toronto.
Believe it when I see it, Toronto.
Yeah. But
both still got to play Florida.
Yeah, Toronto. Both Florida teams are really good. So I don't even know if I want to pick anyone out of the East right now. So yeah, Colorado or Vegas out of the West. But yeah, Florida, Toronto, Tampa. Killer.
Let us know your thoughts on the trade deadline in the comments below. What was your favorite trade of the trade deadline? If you like this episode, drop a like on it. Hit subscribe if you want more glass seats. We got multiple episodes out every week. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.